if you do that, actually.
You know,
something about wearing like a sleeveless shirt is pretty liberating.
I know.
Bruh, I do.
You look
do
so
like,
tough, bro.
Like tank tops and shit.
Yeah.
I fuck with those, actually.
Welcome back to the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. On tonight's episode, Disney merch is about to get much, much cooler. Sinners drops on digital. And we're going to review the entire NETFLIX Tadum event. So stick around because your fandom... Of God, fantasies. Welcome back to the place where we think all the deep thoughts about all the shallow things until we are all dead. Welcome back to the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. Crickets. If this is your first time joining us, what we do here is we basically take the weekly geeky zeitgeist and nerd-splain it. We'll deep dive into the latest comics, movies, TVs, gaming, or whatever thing that the internet is fighting about now, and nerd-splain it. So no nerdy background necessary to understand. Whether you're a total newbie or a level 99 pop culture wizard, myself and panel of nerd-splainers have a PhD in pop culture in order to be your geeky guide to discovering what kind of nerd you really are. So welcome to the gateway to all things nerdy, no gatekeeping allowed. Welcome to the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. Woo! Hey, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Oh, Uncle Mark in the chat. Look at that. I gave a ration of hard time to a bunch of people for not supporting. I'm like, hey, are you tuning in, members of our family? So Uncle Mark, thank you, Uncle Mark, for coming in and throwing in a few comments. That does help us out. It helps out drastically. Look, if you are a regular listener of the show, we are now on audio. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. We're all the places where you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you leave us a 5-star review, if you leave us a rating, a good review, write something down and hit that little subscribe button and those little thumbs up. It does help us. It helps us in the algorithm, that algorithm dragon that we are consistently chasing around here. As Hollywood falls apart, we're just trying to be our own green light around here, okay? That's all we're trying to get to. This week, my panel of nerd-splainers, the round table of true believers, my zeitgeist zealots, my nerdcast council, my geeky aficionados, my streaming senseis, my blockbuster brainiacs, my masterminds of media, or prophets of pop culture. No Diddy this week, or I mean, I don't know. I was gonna, well, I don't know where I'm going with this, actually. Let me backtrack on this. No Diddy any week, but no Olivia this week. Diddy's a little under the weather. So she stepped aside. Is my audio good? Can everybody hear me pretty well too? Yeah. Out there? Not just you, but people in the stream. I'm pretty sure.
YouTube, Instagram. Can y'all hear us?
Yeah, I want to make sure that everybody can hear us. But we're definitely, yeah, it looks like it.
Katie says yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I sound a little. Can you turn my headphones up a little bit? Perfect introduction. To my right, the right hand here at the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. Back in action. Not taking photos this week. Mr. Tie Photography. Mr. Tie died. Mr. Tie is back in the studio, producing, looking super well lit. Figment in the background in front of the VHS wall. You are. We got some lighting upgrades here in the Deeper Issues Nerdcast studio. Our fact checker, the most serious person on our podcast, the one person that brings us all the legitimacy in the world, Mr. Tommy Jeff. We got a very special guest actually tonight because no Diddy. Dang, I don't know because we don't, because Olivia's not here, and he's spending the summer with me. So he's my intern. He's my right hand, basically. He's my little 15-year-old nephew, Adrian Paul Mitchell. He does have a camera, does he not? There he is. Look at him.
That's good.
I don't know if he's Gen Alpha. I don't know if he's Gen Z. So he's 15. He's in the studio. This is a guys episode. I said this is a guys night. So, Adrian's here and I'm like, yeah, gotta give you the guys night thing, right?
Yeah, it's true.
It only checks out. Yeah, pretty packed episode this week. We got a lot to cover and a lot to talk about. But this show is all about learning. Whether you're learning something that we're nerd-splaining or you're, I guess, learning about a new comic book or whatever it may be. We learn things here all the time, too. So this is a little segment called, What Did We Learn This Week? Off the bat, I learned that I'm ballsy enough to wear a sleeveless shirt on camera. I regret nothing.
It's also just kind of what you do in like the summer. I mean,
it's hot.
It's hot.
We're working on getting a proper mini split unit in here. So until then, yeah, it is summer. It's SoCal, summer. So what are all the terms? There's like hot girl summer, and there's like
helpful Honda days.
Helpful Honda days.
Toyotathon.
Yeah.
Hot dude summer.
Hot dude summer.
Yeah.
Sleeveless in Seattle. I don't know. Ty, you've been gone. So we're going to start with you.
God. What did I learn this week?
What did you learn this week, man?
So funny enough, I actually was talking to Olivia about this. I went to go see Bring Her Back, A24. The directors that brought us Talk to Me. It's their new horror film of the summer.
Yeah.
Everyone's been talking about it. I just learned that I'm desensitized to certain horror, because based on the trailer, it looked really good. I mean, it was a good movie. It looked very scary. I was in the theater, everyone was squirming or turning away. I just kind of sat there like, all right, cool effects. Loved the makeup, loved the actors were great. The mom, I learned, was the woman from The Shape of Water, Sally Hawkins.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she was great. Played a phenomenal character.
Yeah.
Without spoiling it too much, the movie talks about grief and trying to bring back a dead kid, her child.
My 15-year-old nephew. I'm gonna warn you right now, Adrian. I'm sorry to my sister.
Pablo's not gonna bring her back.
No, she's gonna be like, she's just not allowed back, because we're gonna be out here just, this is the guy's night. You're gonna hear some F-bombs tonight.
Dude night.
You just don't repeat anything you say.
Flip.
Yeah, flip, exactly.
Frick.
Yeah, frick.
Funya.
All right. Fudge.
Funyun.
Fudgerickle. Don't repeat anything you hear on this podcast.
Got you.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Ty. Sorry. So
Talk about bringing
go back
back
to
a dead kid,
go
and
back
all
to
of a
bringing back the
sudden-
dead kids. Everybody's getting sensitive when you're talking about it.
I
Yeah.
know. No, it was a really good movie. Very well done. There are some scenes I feel like for most people would be hard to watch, but if you've watched enough zombie or just horror movies in general, I think you're gonna be okay. Still go see it. Still go support small independent films. These dudes are awesome. They're from Australia. They got, it's kind of cool too. The main actress, she has no acting experience, and I think she did phenomenal.
Whoa.
This was her first role. Yeah, go see it. Bring Her Back, now playing rated R. If you don't like blood or flesh, don't
see this movie. If you're not into scary horror
things. If you're not into scary horror, if you're not into...
I can't watch, I'll be honest with you. Well, firstly, two things. I will always empathize with a parent now, as a parent, clearly, like that has lost a child, and I will always...
Yeah.
That'll always... And two, that always will hit me a lot harder now. Like,
of course.
Obviously, like, I used to be... Clearly, I'm very punk rock, as you guys can see by my sleeveless shirt. But I used to be way more... I used to be way more punk rock. But, like, this is gonna sound weird, but like I'm so sensitive to a bunch of stuff now for like modern horror, where I'm just like, oh, this is a tough watch for me sometimes.
I mean, it's not like graphic.
No, but I know, but it's just like, I don't know.
I get the idea of
yeah.
Horrific things you would do to literally bring them back.
Like, I'm not scared of like monsters and the supernatural and stuff like that, but yeah, like the idea, yeah, exactly. Like, and then like obviously, like the Wanda Maximoff thing, right? Like, I totally empathize with that character. Like, I so connect with that. Like, all the parents now, just that sort of thing. So, I don't know if I'm gonna go see this movie now. It's making me a little sad just thinking about it.
I mean, it's like that's the point of the movie, right? It's to challenge you. It's like,
of course,
this woman doing these horrific things, like watching and doing these horrific things just to bring her daughter back. It's like putting you in that position. Like, would you also?
What would you do? Yeah.
Do these crazy things? I mean, like again. I'm not a parent, so I can't say, but like most people watching this would say like that's a little extreme to bring somebody back. It's not like I'll talk to you guys about it after the podcast. But
Wow.
like what the ritual actually is.
What
like,
would you rate the movie? What would you say?
I give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh yeah,
I did give it a 7 out of 10. Again, what I like about these directors, they're not afraid to do like the oh my gosh moments. Like you'll see some horrific things and you're just like, wow, like that's really well done, or like that's like it's for shock value, right? Like that's what most horror these days is. But again, like I didn't lose any sleep. Like maybe that's what I guess like I'm just crazy. That's what I want. I want to lose sleep over something. I want to like be horrified. But
yeah,
this movie didn't scare me. And that's what Olivia and I were talking about. I think if there's a lot of movies,
you're jaded, bro.
Yeah,
you're fucked up, man.
Like yeah, maybe. Maybe. But yeah, like I don't think a lot of horror scares us. And I think it's been a long time since I've been like genuinely like freaked out or just like thought provoking. Like that's what this movie's meant to be. Like it's like what would you do to bring back a child? Like I loved Midsummer, but Midsummer was like thought provoking. It's like wow, like I'm thinking about like Danny's character progression, I'm thinking about her journey. And it's like more so than like the horrific things I saw. I was like, oh yeah, that was cool. Like how they smashed that guy's head with a hammer. But like that's horror. Like dude, when I saw Final Destination, like we were cheering when the crazy death scenes were happening.
Saw it.
You saw it?
We saw it. Did you see it yet?
No. That would involve me going to a theater.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you guys.
We saw it.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, it was so funny. I took my dad to the
It was mid
screening.
I'll tell you.
I mean, compared to the other,
I will say the whole opening sequence was hands down the best part of the film.
Well, dude, shout out to what's her name? She's the oldest stunt performer to be lit on fire. She's going for that world record.
Oh, really?
She's 87 years old and got set on fire. She's a stunt performer.
Wow.
They're trying to get her in the Guinness Book of World Records.
That's
She's
cool
like she was actually lit on fire, and she's like the oldest stunt performer. So
no, but other than the opening sequence, like the vision, right? That always is the MacGuffin or the catalyst for everything. Other than that death scene, like everything else was like, but once more, maybe I'm just there's been so many Final Destinations where I'm like, I've seen so many cool death scenes that these other ones are like, all right.
I mean, I think I have a different perspective because like I got to do the Q&A and like the thought that like again, like the movie itself, it's fine. I don't think it's like amazing, but like it's
Diddy
cool.
in the chat.
Diddy.
Not that Diddy, the good Diddy.
The good
Diddy.
Olivia.
The good Diddy.
Yeah.
But like the movie was good. It's not like a great that's like amazing, but again, it was one of those things like you go to that movie to watch the crazy deaths.
I definitely recommend everybody seeing it.
Yes. 100%.
I would. I'm not like, it doesn't have the rewatchability factor for me. I was like, okay, cool. I got it on my system.
Right.
That's my only thing. But it was,
it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it was fun for
Like,
sure.
I told my dad, I'm like, because he's never seen the Final Destination movies other than the log scene that I showed him. Like,
yeah, I'm in class. And
classic.
they
brought back.
They tip of the hat to that a lot. Yeah. Which I love.
That's generational trauma right there.
That is. And that was also part of the marketing strategy, right? For the movie.
They had it driving around.
Yeah.
But like that movie, like you go in knowing what you're going to get. You're going to get a cheesy but cool death scene movie. And that's exactly what it was. It's not trying to be anything else. And like,
yeah, it knows what it is.
Yeah, my dad was laughing. He's like, I can't believe some people are cheering for like all these death scenes. I'm like, that's the point of the movie.
They're cheering for death, man.
Yeah, we're rooting for him. And Tony Todd.
And Tony Todd, it was a nice little. I'm glad Tony Todd got, although the Oscars snubbed him, he got a moment in cinema within a franchise, at least to be able to kind of give his goodbye.
And I told you that in the last podcast that the director, people asked about that in the Q&A. They're like, how was that scene with Tony Todd? And they were like, we already knew what was going on with him. So we told him, we didn't give him a script. We said, whatever you want to say to the audience, this is your chance to do it. So everything you heard, that was all 100%.
It was all Tony.
Todd. Yeah.
Yeah. Legend, man.
Legend.
Total legend. So you learned that you're just too screwed up now for modern horror movies.
Yeah. I want more. Come on, Hollywood.
Wow.
Or
give time a snuff film.
Give me.
Have you ever seen Faces of Death?
No.
No, you don't know about that?
Maybe.
I'm not going to tell you about that in front of Adrian because he's 15. But
look, I'm just looking for something that's
in
gonna,
the
like,
90s.
scar me. Like I don't need to see like.
No, that's what it was. I remember
that
was like a big thing in the late 90s, 2000s. Basically, like Faces of Death was just like a compilation video thing that you could buy that would be sold. And it's funny because at some point, I don't know if they ever had like infomercials for them, but It was like just a compilation of real life death.
Oh, I'm not that messed up. I don't want to see that.
Well, are you sure you're not?
No, I'm talking about making a horror movie that's gonna screw me over, not like I don't want to see real life shit, messed up shit. I'm not that messed up.
I don't know. Adrian, what
Hereditary.
Hereditary?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
scary for you?
Yeah,
that was one for you?
that messed me up a little bit. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who let you watch that movie?
myself. I saw. No, hold on.
In defense, your mom
is watching this podcast right now.
If she's watching this podcast, your mom and your aunt, my 2 older sisters, Nini, showed me The Exorcist when I was 6. So
yeah, I was introduced to a lot of horror movies at that age too.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I like it. What's adorable right now is that you are so small almost. You're like the microphone is a little in front of your face. Like
hold on, there.
Who put his camera like that?
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
He fixed his camera.
He's slouching a little bit. I'm like, but it's funny. It's like you're peeking over the microphone. Look at that cute little guy over there on the red couch. Tommy Jeff, what did you learn this week?
Well, I've learned that every week I don't always seem to learn something that is memorable. Because this is what I'm struggling with. No, I will say I wouldn't know. Like, I guess you could say it's learning, but I've been looking a lot more into like calisthenics styled workouts. Just because like I'm also kind of not wanting to always go to the gym or like need gym equipment. So I've been looking into that a little bit more with the help of like, I don't know, AI, because I know absolutely nothing. And I also know nobody who does anything with it. So like
took it to ChatGPT.
Oh, 100%.
Using 5 milliliters of water with every question, this guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
So like I don't know, I've just kind of been like looking into it. I haven't done any of it, but looking into it a little bit. We'll see if I even do any of it. So,
are you trying to
it's like one of those things where like, yeah, I got a gym membership. I never go to the gym.
Yeah, we're gonna fix that.
Yeah, we're gonna fix that. Like we get really good for like, it's funny because it takes 30 days. It takes 30 days to break a habit, but it also takes 30 days to build a habit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it takes just as long to build it. And we'll go to the gym for like 2-3 months really well.
Yeah.
And then we just don't.
We just don't. Like one of us gets sick and it's like, oh guys, I'm not feeling well.
Or I vanish for a couple of weeks into a trip halfway across the country.
You can't trust me and Fernie to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I just want something because you know, the older you get, the less your body tends to work in your favor. And don't necessarily have that problem at the current moment, thankfully, but it's one of those things of like, you got to be proactive. You gotta curb that first. So just trying to be like the days that I don't have that motivation of another person going with me to the gym, or if I'm traveling or something like, and I don't have the capability to go to a gym without paying exorbitant amounts for day fees, then I can do something in the hotel or wherever I'm staying. So yeah, I've been looking into it a little bit more to understand it and like, just like kind of grasp it. So occasionally I do hop on this thing called Instagram.
Oh yeah,
like
I know
social
of it.
media.
Yeah, I know of it. I've heard of it.
And my For You page on that is a bunch of like calisthenics styled workouts from a bunch of people in like Africa.
Oh,
and it's actually really cool.
Yeah, who are like genuinely like, hey, we don't have a insane Americanized gym.
Yes.
Yeah, no Planet Fitness.
And I love it. And like it's kind of got me slightly. Katie just texted me saying that I'm weird as hell for this.
No, give it to us.
But like it's just like one of those things of like I'm just like, it's enthralled me to keep scrolling, and now I understand the algorithms and the terribleness of social media.
Oh no, so you discovered doom scrolling.
But
but
I mean like it's all like actually really cool because like it's also like, damn, like you just have to like get in that mental spot to be able to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. It's just like what I've been looking into over the last week.
Push-ups,
like from
dude.
The last well, the issue with push-ups,
baby.
The issue with push-ups right now is I can't put weight on my right wrist.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
It's because I high five people too much.
Oh yeah.
And I fist bump people too much. And they're not they're not like gentle high fives or fist bumps.
High five related injuries.
Literally.
High fives are free. Shout out to Nathan Haskell on that one.
But it's just like one of those things of like I do that too much, and I tried doing like just like 10 push-ups. I couldn't even do 2 because of it. And I was like, all right, so no more high fives and fist bumps.
You need to work those wrists out.
Yeah, like, because like, I don't know, I'll like high five or fist bump, like, honestly, like 100 plus times a day.
I'll tell you about
like,
some
I'm pretty
wrist-related exercises after that. Maybe that's where you start.
Don't
start working the what?
Nothing.
Adrian's 15. I'm sure he can tell you all sorts of wrist-related workouts that he can.
You're weird.
That is a child, Pablo.
He's a 15-year-old boy. All right,
I am not a part of this conversation. I don't know.
We don't know Pablo.
AP, what'd you learn? What'd you learn this week? You learned some things, huh? You're staying with your uncle and your aunt. So first couple days here in California, New Orleans boy.
I feel like I've learned that like I should just jump to stuff. If I see a problem right there, I should fix it. Because in everybody's mindset, they're thinking like, oh, someone else will get it. But everybody thinks that nobody's gonna do it. So like,
learn to take initiative.
See,
look, this kid's learning things over here.
Yeah.
That's important.
Dude, the coolest thing about that, half the stuff you're just like, someone else will do it. You just doing it. You realize that was 30 seconds. We put off so many tasks that take us less than 2 minutes to do. It is insane.
It really is.
So that's
crazy.
That's an amazing thing to be learning right now.
At this age, it is really. And that's. I was telling him. I feel bad because I probably lecture Adrian like I probably lecture Adrian like a couple dozen times a day, only because I love him, and I'm like, hey, like it took me a long time to learn a bunch of stuff, so I just want to give you as much of the knowledge that I have. But he did. Yeah, I think that was one of the things we were talking about. Was like taking initiative, and I'm glad he did. He has been taking initiative.
I put the Wingstop up today.
Yeah, he did. That's true. I came out here. I was getting a quote for a mini split unit, and we were eating Wingstop, and I come back in, and he had cleaned up the whole little section in the kitchen. I'm like, what? What happened? I'm like, did you clean up? And he was like sitting there playing video games with Finn. I'm just like, nobody told you to clean up, and you cleaned up around here? Yeah, good job, Adrian.
Initiative.
Round of applause for that kid. Adrian learned how to take initiative. What did I learn this week?
What did you learn?
Let me think. Look, I've been learning a lot of things. I've actually been writing stuff down, specifically of like what I learned.
You being prepared.
Yeah, I did try to kind of learn about a bunch of different things.
I did try to learn.
Recently I rewatched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with my kids.
Nice. Because
we've been watching it, and I relearned, I guess, but I forgot about this. We watched Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, and Wayne Szalinski had a solar-powered van in that movie, and I forgot about that. He has a van that's got solar panels all around it, and at some point he even shows up to work late, and he's like, sorry, I was late. There was like a nimbulous cloud that blocked the sun, so I was like stuck for a couple of minutes or whatever, and it caused my van not to run. And and recently, having gone to Epcot Center, I was talking to our friends Roxy and Andy about how Epcot was so cool as a kid because it was like this idealistic version of the future that we had, of like green, clean burning energy and efficiency and the things that were better for society, and how even Disney always promoted and pushed those things, and that all those things have been ruined by capitalism. This is not the like future that I would have imagined, basically. And I got reminded of that by seeing Wayne Szalinski's solar powered van and being like, wow, look at this. What year did that movie come out in? It was like freaking like Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. But
I don't remember that one. I remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kid.
Well, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid was when he blew up the boy and he gets big in Vegas.
That's
remember?
Right.
It was a sequel.
1992.
Yeah. Okay. So in 1992, we were like, look, the forward way of thinking is solar powered vehicles. And now, like, you know, everybody's like getting an electric car. What's
Nothing.
that? What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
And now, like, everybody's like, well, you know, we got all these electric cars, but like the electric cars are probably just as evil because we're over here, you know, ripping off the Democratic Republic Congo for all their cobalt. So it's like capitalism is ruining this beautiful idea of like clean burning energy. And it made me miss kind of like this optimistic sort of future. And now this got depressing, I feel like.
Right. Well, to lighten it, it's funny. I was just watching that Simpsons episode where they go to Epcot And then it's like, welcome to the electric car vehicle ride. And it's sponsored by like the whatever corporate gas companies. So they're like ragging on the electric car. And I'm like, oh, because as a kid, I'm like, oh, why are they making fun of him? I'm like, oh, because it's sponsored by the gasoline company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's propaganda.
I don't know. But even because there's like a ride of like One with the Earth, which is like basically a tour of a giant greenhouse. And it's like how we're like farming indoor, just like, I don't know. There's like so many different things that it's like, it makes Epcot in some ways feel a little like, I still love Spaceship Earth. It still kind of gives me like a very beautiful, I don't know if y'all ever ridden Spaceship Earth. AP, did you ride Spaceship Earth?
No.
No. Okay. But Spaceship Earth. No. I can see how at 15 it's not, but it's like a beautiful kind of like history of communication. Like even now, right? We're here live streaming to potentially everybody in the world can tune into this live stream.
Right.
Unless we're violating some sort of copyright act, which once more, but capitalism. But like this beauty of like the dawn of how we were communicating and written communication. And I don't know, man, like it even goes into like Steve Jobs in Silicon Valley in the garage, just Jobs and Wozniak inventing the computer and cyberspace. It's like being connected and this idealistic future that I feel like is slowly getting ruined by capitalism. Fuck.
Anyway,
it's the end of
hey, you want to drink to that?
Yeah, Ty the beer guy is back, baby, with this Kirkland brand lager right here. I told him I'm being all low carb and stuff, but
we peer pressured him.
He did peer pressure me.
It's a guy's night.
It's a guy's.
It is. This is a guy's night, by the way.
I have a spicy water instead.
Oh, let's try this out, Ty.
Oh, here, hold on.
Savor the triumph of 2023's Great American Beer Festival gold medalist, a beer that stands out among the finest in America, which is random that Kirkland brand lager from the Shoots Brewery?
Sure.
The Shore?
I don't know.
No, that's...
Is that you? Oh.
Was that you? Adrian with the sound effects over here. I don't know. Let's try it. Yuck, I hate beer. Okay.
Wow.
Sorry, thank you.
Do you really?
Yeah, I really do. Have you ever seen me drink a beer?
I mean,
not a beer drinker.
Dude, you drink tequila.
Ty the beer guy, though.
I don't drink beer either.
Pablo really went, ew, yucky.
It was like being told Jägermeister is the best drink out there at 16.
We'll talk about some more stuff that I learned.
Jägermeister and Fireball.
Diddy, Olivia, I wish you were here. I like the beer.
Shout out to Diddy. She's very sick. I drank this beer for you, Diddy. Diddy does like beer, so she'd be all over this. But there it is. That's what we learned this week. This doesn't stop. We're not journalists. I need to put this down. Like I'm like,
and you're like, are we sponsored?
We're not journalists.
Yo, if Costco wants to sponsor,
or
if Kirkland wants to sponsor,
I will not say no.
By all means, give me that free membership. Please.
But we do. Oh my god. But we do.
You're such a child.
Let me wash this down with some Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper.
That red 40 will do.
But we do. But we do keep our ears in the dirty streets. Sometimes read articles. Sometimes read headlines. Most of the times, we're just scrolling on our social media feed. This is News and Stuff. All right, we're going to cover the Tadum event. I guess let's start with the newest news. The latest news, and just before the podcast, we watched the trailer. There is a new trailer for Wicked for Good dropping in. So it dropped today at 6 o'clock. Was it Eastern or maybe 6 o'clock Pacific? We've talked about Wicked on this podcast before because I've never saw any Wicked, and then my wife and daughter really wanted to go see it, and I was not dragged. I voluntarily went to movie theaters with them. We watched it, and I loved it, and it became a bit of an obsession for me temporarily. And today, you can see there is a new trailer for Wicked for Good. The movie drops in November. Let me get you an exact date here.
Thanksgiving.
November 21st, 2025. Thanksgiving. Wow.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
The conclusion to last year's musical hit, Ariana Grande, Cynthia, can't remember her last name, Rivos? Is that right? Cynthia Rivos? Tommy Jeff?
Yeah, I'm pulling
Arrivo.
Yeah, Arrivo.
Cynthia Arrivo.
I drew a blank on that one.
Cynthia Arrivo, Jonathan Bailey, Jeff Goldblum.
I didn't know whose camera to cut.
We're all just like, I was like, Tommy Jeff? AP, fact checker? AP, did you see Wicked?
No, I mean, honestly, the only thing I know about Wicked is just like there's a
pretty
female
wicked.
version of the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. So
Fuck.
I don't know anything else. The Green Goblin or Ariana Grande is all I know.
You hit the nail on the head, man. That's exactly what it is. No, I said it was a. What did I say? I said it was a bit of a female version of Cobra Kai.
Mhm. You did.
Did I just say that? So because it's a side entrance, an alternate take into what you perceive to be the villain for the longest time. I mean, I'm not assigning any gender bias to the characters of Wicked, whatever. Ty's giving me a look right now. What, Ty? Just say it.
I'm just waiting
Say
for
it.
you. I'm just enjoying the show.
You're
Just watching you. You look so
this
nervous.
is the part of the show
You
where I
look
make.
so
I'm not
nervous.
nervous at all.
But why are you like making awkward eye
'Cause you're-
contact with me?
Because you're giving me a look. So this
I'm
is the
not
part
allowed
of the
to
show
look,
where
apparently.
no, I feel like I always say something that makes you uncomfortable.
I'm just looking, man.
Okay. Yeah, it's an alternate take into
I'm
the
getting
traditional
attacked.
story. I'm just wondering of the Wizard of Oz. Adrian's version of funny is funnier, I think, of the Green Goblin or whatever. The movie looks good. What do you guys think about the trailer, Tommy Jeff? Tommy Jeff, you were the biggest Wicked fan.
Yes, he
so I
was.
want your initial reaction to it.
I enjoyed it. I liked it. The cinematography, again, I just think I think Chu's just doing an amazing job with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I've been
and their art design's always amazing as well.
Yeah, and like I'm just really excited to see how everything plays out again. Just seeing like the chemistry between all the characters, seeing seeing it all like that. That trailer is just it made me interested into it a lot more all over again. I mean, I'm gonna go see it either way.
Right.
But it sucked me in.
So you're like, I'm all for it. Like you're gonna dress it up for this one again. I hope.
Well, we'll see. I went. I did dress up as Dorothy, in like a male variant of it with a button up.
Hell yeah, you did.
and a girdle
with
and
like red shoes. Is this
lingerie
and all that? Yeah, you know.
You played that in 17.
I don't think I'm gonna dress up for it this time. I also don't think I'm gonna go see it. No,
you're not gonna. Come on.
I'm not usually that individual. The people that had invited me to go see it, part one, put together that outfit for me, and I was like, you know what?
Because like
that
put an
was
outfit
like
together for you.
100%. Like I am very much the person that I want to put as little effort into it. So if you want to put in all the effort, and I just have to show up and like essentially sit down for makeup, by all means, I'll do it.
So that's
like
what
let's
we're
have fun
doing.
with it. Like, because I'm not gonna ruin the mood. I'm not gonna ruin the fun. Like, I don't want to be like the one that does that. And it's a story. Like, you know, you get to have fun with it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going out of my way to go buy it because because then I'm stressing about like, is this gonna work? Is this gonna look good? And I'm not that type. I don't have that eye. So no, not dressing up for it unless the people I go with buy the outfit that I'm supposed to wear.
So Olivia and Pablo will buy you the outfit.
I'm gonna buy you an outfit. Yeah.
Good.
Sexy Tin Man.
I'm done. I will go as the Tin Man.
I thought you were gonna say like
you buy it.
I thought you'd be like, I'm gonna go as Dorothy, but I'm just gonna have the basket.
Yeah.
Just the basket.
Done.
It should be Toto.
Done.
We'll do
I'll
like
have the picnic
Toto.
basket just slightly down there.
Toto in the vein of Idris Elba as McCavity and Cats. You know, has like a weird skin suit, like tight. Yeah, it'll be Toto.
You and Cats, I swear.
It's a great movie.
It's
God.
really not.
It's
It's
Nobody
No
has
one's
said
saying
that
that.
without being paid.
Fantastic.
Besides you.
I learned some stuff about I know this is what we learned, but I did learn some stuff about the Wizard of Oz. And I this is what I loved about Wicked. It was an alternate perspective. And although that theme was kind of but maybe I don't know. I wasn't living in the time, obviously, when the movie came out. Like I've told y'all before, I think the movie was a little creepy and weird for me. But
real quick, Katie says that I should be a munchkin.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, definitely. Yeah. Who's the
Look, I'm gonna be honest. If it out of the three of us, if anyone's gonna be a munchkin, it should definitely be you.
Oh, 100%. It is absolutely me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should
definitely.
totally be TJ.
just so only TJ and TJ alone?
yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know if y'all knew this about the original. Well, firstly, L. Frank Baum wrote The Wizard of Oz when he was 40.
Oh.
And apparently, like he had, it was like a hit, a success instantly, but like he had been like pretty much a failure at everything else. He had like failed businesses, failed like a bunch of other stories and whatnot. And y'all know kind of like that The Wizard of Oz is political satire, which is it's Wicked is also kind of right. What's the term I'm looking for? Not amalgamate freaking dang it. Not an acronym. What is
Synonym.
what's a metaphor for something or just dang, I don't remember. Anyways, I'm not good with words. So when L. Frank Baum wrote The Wizard of Oz, it was in like the late 1800s, early 1900s. There was political dispute. There was what's called the Coinage Act of 1873. Fun facts here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is what created the U.S. gold standard, right? And there was silver and gold were the two kind of forms of currency. It was a lot easier. The populists, the farmers, the people who were like the normal middle class of the country would use silver. It was easier to convert it to money, and that was their form of currency. But then America moved into what was the gold standard. And basically the gold standard was for industrialists, right? So that's also like, the gold, the yellow brick road being a representation of the gold standard leading to the Emerald City, which was kind of like, obviously a money capitalist kind of city. In the original book, the ruby slippers were silver, which we see in Wicked as well. Mm-hmm. Silver slippers. And then like all the characters also represented different things. So it was political satire basically. And Dorothy represented the populace, the average working American. The Scarecrow represented the populace that were like the farmers who didn't have any brains. Right? Who were not smart and, were just using silver, not wanting to capitalize on gold. And it was too easy to find. The Tin Man represented the industrialists who were heartless. The Cowardly Lion was apparently politician William Jennings Bryan, who lost that election for not speaking out enough and being like a cowardice politician. A really interesting kind of breakdown here. And then Dorothy gets wrapped up in this cyclone and all this drama and dropped in the middle of Oz. The Green City represented the U.S. dollar. The Wizard of Oz, which by no means is Oz, is the kind of breakdown for ounces. That's how, things are measured. And basically how the wizard was using fear tactics and illusions to manipulate kind of like the general population and whatnot and win this election. And it was basically like Dorothy who ended up seeing that like, hey, no politician is going to be Dorothy doesn't get saved by the wizard. Mm-mm. You know what I'm saying? He puts her in a hot air balloon, but he doesn't do anything. She sees through him. And the old thing was being like, hey, like no politician is going to save you.
Right. Was kind of
the breakdown of that as well. She didn't need a politician to come in and save them. But apparently also L. Frank Baum had a series of stories. It was like, once more, an amazing success, like shows you like all the failures that he had in his early career. And then in his 40s hit with the success of The Wizard of Oz as well. So there's something pretty interesting about that as well. But yeah, I thought all these little things were somebody said that there was so I read that apparently he died of like degenerative like heart failure, but there's some theorists out there that would say that there were some sort of like discrepancies or, kind of shadiness around his death as well, because he was such a prominent, outspoken figure. But yeah, pretty interesting kind of backdrop, because I do love now that this version of Wicked is also once more hitting on those original themes of The Wizard of Oz, of, the usage of manipulation of information, of making yourself seem all-knowing and all-powerful, and to be this great savior of this place. You know, I don't know how that would relate to the real world whatsoever. And how politicians maybe just are not our saviors, but
Wicked is also about social injustices and stuff of that sort. Like
absolutely.
Like his Wizard of Oz and Wizard of Oz and Wicked are fantastic allegories.
Allegory.
For a lot of things, and I think that's one of those things that is why I love some shows and some forms of media so much, and that's because they're an outlet for the creator and or for the individuals that are partaking in it to help express their opinions and their feelings, but also bring truth and fact to a lot of stuff within it. And I think like Wicked is very much doing a lot of it with like social injustices, comparing real world events and struggles that you have as a human and you have throughout life and everything, and how to like overcome them or what to do. And you're not always going to be seen favorable, even if it's the right thing.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. It's not going to be easy. You are going to make enemies when you're just like, but why?
Yeah.
And it brings a lot of light to that. And it does such a phenomenal job. This whole series is like honestly just a brilliant creation. So, and I think for him being 40 when he created it, by all means, I'm glad we at least got it.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know I was gonna love Wicked so much. Did you watch it, AP?
No.
Are you gonna watch it
the
now?
Green Goblin.
Did we sell you on it?
If you rent it and make me watch it, I'll watch it.
Whoa,
you know
we
how
have to make you watch it?
No. You don't have to make me watch it, but like, you know how we watched Sinners the other night?
Yeah.
Like, if you like, hey, tonight's a movie night. We're watching Wicked.
It's a musical.
I'll watch it. Oh.
Bruh, don't hate on musicals.
AP doesn't love musicals.
I don't really like musicals.
He's at that 15. Nobody likes musicals.
First of all,
unless you're a theater kid.
You are in a family.
Yeah.
That apparently likes cats. So I respect that.
I don't love everybody in my family. I can't speak for everybody in my family, but I do love
you
cats.
Just need one person to like have the whole family brought in with you.
Cats, baby.
Like so, well, dude, we should all watch Wicked.
We should all watch Cats.
No,
get the hell out of here.
I
gotta go.
No,
we should.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No, we're very excited about Wicked. I can't wait. I'm very excited to see how this kind of all shakes out here. And then like they're teasing to like Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion and everybody.
If they're in the trailer, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the trailer.
Yeah.
And they show them in the beginning of the other one, but they're kind of just background characters. I mean, if you've all seen the Wizard of Oz, you know what the fate of Elphaba is.
Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we got AP's. I like how you're raising your hand. You have a question.
I know.
Yeah.
Is what we teach
back
kids.
To the cats.
No.
I just want to mention. I don't get how you like that show.
Thank you.
It's terrible.
Well, it's a movie.
No, okay, movie, but like genuinely, I think it's scary.
It's not
it's
just
disturbing.
a movie.
It's humans disguised, or not disguised, but dressed up as cats. It's like no hate to anybody, but they're like furries or something. They're
not like
weird.
furries.
They are furries.
Man, that's a whole discussion for a different day. It's just so weird. It's batshit crazy. I don't know how it happened. I'm fascinated by it. More than saying that, like, I love it because I'm just fascinated by it. It's like a rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? That you just dive down. That I'm just like, I can't get out of this thing. I don't know. I'm like in awe of its existence in general. From everything, from the play to the movie.
For Cats? Are we still talking about Cats?
Yeah, man. Let's move on.
Hold on. What is the story? What is the storyline for Cats?
There is no storyline.
That's the problem.
No,
that right there is the problem. There's no storyline.
God, you're gonna make me talk about this.
No, can we carry on? Actually, because I'm gonna go.
There is no storyline. So
I can't believe
Cats started off as a book by T.S. Eliot to entertain his nieces and nephews about jellicle cats, magical cats, right? And
It's all about the magical cats.
And then Andrew Lloyd Webber, on a lot of drugs on one evening, was like, I'm going to make this into a musical about all these cats. And it's just kind of like a presentation of all these cats. The musical has no storyline. For some reason, it became a Broadway hit because some of the music is fantastic. It's timeless, like Andrew Lloyd Webber's music.
There are oh my God, what am I trying to say right now?
That you love cats.
I mean, I have 2 cats, but not because of the musical and not related to the musical. God, no. Why are we stuck on this? I just want us to move on. Like, let's not be stuck on this.
But so let me just
Lady Gaga.
Let me just explain.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
No,
Gaga.
so then since the musical, whenever the freaking dude made the movie, movies need structure, and then they gave the assigned the most batshit insane story. Absolutely watch Cats. Go out there. If you've never seen it,
you're not missing anything.
If you've never seen it and you just want to watch an insane
We're not
train
getting
wreck,
paid to say
Don't
this.
watch it.
Watch it.
It
demands to be seen.
We bring this damn musical up way too much.
No, man, forever.
Podcast. And it
Cats.
needs to stop coming up.
AP, raising your hand. Call it on the AP with the hand raised over here.
Yep.
Just tell me to shut up.
Yeah. Quick question. Can I take my shoes off?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And your shoes aren't on camera. Don't worry about that. I love that. Okay.
Damn, it smells in here.
He just saved this.
Look, I'm gonna call Collider out on this bullshit right here. Actually, I wanted. So, Sinners dropped.
Netflix.
Sinners dropped on digital this week.
Mm.
Amazing. Probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite film this year so far. And then fucking Collider puts this weird, baity, misleading headline about that was always my intention. And this picture of Ryan Coogler when it's like, oh, Ryan Coogler on a Sinner sequel. And I was like, I instantly put this in the freaking notes, in our shared notes. I'm like, oh my gosh, Ryan Coogler has intentions on making a sequel, because that's what I'm like, I need a prequel, I need more backstory, I need this. And then we also get a full, then if you read, right, so this is obviously how the internet works these days, it's all clickbaity. If you read the full interview, I'm not sure who was it, he did it with Ebony Magazine. He confirms he has no plans for a Sinner sequel, and the quote is actually, I wanted the movie to feel like a meal, your appetizer, starter, entree, and dessert. I wanted all of it in there. I wanted all of it to be holistic and finished, and a finished thing. That's how I was asked about it. That was always my intention. But then they just took the little bit of that's always my intention, and then they're like, Ryan Coogler on a Sinner sequel. Right. Fuck you, Collider. Firstly,
that's why I don't.
Sorry, Adrian. I'm sorry, Adrian. Earmuffs, buddy.
Frick you, Collider.
Put your hands over your ears right now.
Headphones are still on.
All right, whatever. It doesn't matter. All right.
I'm not hearing this.
Okay. Fuck you, Collider. How dare you do this shit to us, because you got me really excited. Now, earmuffs off now, buddy. All right. But yeah, Ryan Coogler basically talks about how he has no intentions for a Sinner sequel. He expected, and you know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect film. I don't need, I mean, like, obviously, like, I'm obsessed, so
right, you want more, but
if I do get more, I'm also not going to complain, and Ryan Coogler clearly has to be involved. But the other thing that I read about it is that the studio wants to move ahead with a sequel, even if Ryan Coogler is not involved in more Sinners.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, I will say, I think Michael B. Jordan, like the entire cast, like they're gonna have Ryan Coogler's back. They're not gonna.
No, yeah, that's well, unless there's a contractual thing there, and who's to say they're not? Because that's how studio contracts work.
That's true, but I will say too, I feel like he has that fan base where people will, well, not I want to say boycott, but they'll retaliate, and they'll put pressure on the studio.
John Tracy, firstly, he said he wants the cat's butthole cut.
Yo, what?
There's an edit of Cats where they have all the cat buttholes in it. Long story. But then also he said he would like Vampires and Indians movie, which is another part of it that I was like kind of craving for with Remick and was it the Cherokee? Kind of like,
yeah, because you read that whole history, right? How they gave their money to the Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were solidarity.
Nerd-splain, please.
Oh God, I didn't read all. I don't remember on the top of my head, but yeah, basically that scene was significant because, as per history, that specific tribe donated. I want to say the amount wasn't, back in the day it was something crazy. It was like $160 or $180 to support the Irish people against, obviously because both sides were getting targeted.
Yeah.
So in solidarity, they were supporting them. So that's why it was significant, even though if that was just a little scene, but like Ryan Coogler always does something intentional because there's actual historic and accuracy in all of his films. So
yeah, man.
So you're right. I mean, I feel like there's like someone did that fake like MCU timeline of like all the Sinners movies that were potentially.
Oh my gosh.
Again, clickbaity, right? Like that's the reason why I don't follow Collider, because they're one of those sources that will create clip art for stuff like this, and it's like,
what, dude? It pissed me off to a degree.
Yeah,
where I'm just like, not. Firstly, like Ryan Coogler clearly already caught a bunch of shit from the studios because of his
deal,
well-deserved deal
100%.
of first dollar, and being downplayed for this original IP that surpassed and exceeded all expectations and probably will continue to do so.
Yeah.
Now, I guarantee you, if you re-release this movie on IMAX,
people are going to go.
We will go. I'm for it.
Yeah.
So you already kind of, and then now, on top of Collider doing this sort of shit, but now if the studio would move forward on some sort of sequel or some more Sinners to turn this into a franchise without the approval of the artist who created this amazing thing, this is all that's wrong with Hollywood right now. And it's so funny because I think I've already stated this. They're like, everybody's like, Hollywood's in distress. It's like, well, the people in charge, the CEOs, the freaking studio heads, they created these problems within Hollywood.
Right.
They're the people to create. There's a huge middle class within the production industry that is suffering just like everywhere else in the world because of the stupid decisions made by tone-deaf studio heads on what they feel is going to maximize a profit or put more money in their pockets and screw over the people that are actually creating the things that people want to see. And
the two of you have seen Sinners, yeah?
Yeah. Have you not seen it?
No.
Oh my God.
Again, theaters. Did it leave on a note where like it could be like
1,000%? Yeah, there's so much openness in
like either direction. Like you could build before it and
you can build before, after, all around this Mamma Jamma. It is so good on so many levels. There's so many layers of this film.
Yeah,
and there's so much depth and just brilliance, man, and love for filmmaking. Because and I was joking because I like one of my favorite vampire movies is From Dusk Till Dawn, right? And then there's a lot of parallels in this movie from Dusk Till Dawn. Like From Dusk Till Dawn, you know what? I will say this. I do have one criticism of the film. I walked into the movie when I saw the movie. I walked in like a couple seconds late.
Boo.
And I didn't see Preacher Boy going into the church to begin with.
Oh.
And there's like the points where they're like, "Oh, what happened to you, Order Sammy?
I fucking love that.
Sammy, what happened to you?" Whatever. And they have like little flashes. I kind of just walked in right when the Smokestack Twins were kind of like waiting on the dude to sell them the juke joint or whatever. And I'm not mad at it. Clearly, like it's still fantastically brilliant. But I liked that I didn't get any hint to this being a vampire film up until it is a vampire film. Okay. And that little snippet in the beginning, I'm like, kind of gives it to. And that's what I always loved about From Dusk Till Dawn. I'm like, the first 2 acts of the movie are not even a vampire film.
Right.
It just turns into that, right? And that was, I guess, my only kind of little criticism of rewatching it on digital. I was like, okay. Because I only saw it one time, unlike Diddy, saw it 3 times. How many times did you see it in theaters? Once?
Seen what?
Sinners.
Oh, I saw Sinners once in the movie theaters
Uh-huh.
and then once with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seven.
Dude. So you know what's funny? Talking about if Warner Brothers decides to do this.
Sons of bitches, Warner Brothers.
You heard what happened today, right? Today was kind of like not like a historic thing.
Yeah,
the CEO.
About the CEO trying to give himself a bonus
$52 million paycheck.
Yeah, and 60% of the investors were like,
shareholders have symbolically voted against it, so it's not going to reduce his pay, but he's definitely not getting that bonus because they.
No, yeah, go fuck yourself, buddy.
Right? No, 100%, because he doesn't want to pay the actors fairly. But what's crazier too is that I was like, wow, he doesn't like. I'm like, 52 million was going to be his pay raise. Warner Brothers took a $10 billion loss collectively last year.
Oh no, they're starving, I guess.
But I'm like, but
Warner
look what
Brothers, they're gonna have to get the medium-sized jacuzzis instead of the big ones.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like, look, you get an amazing director, an amazing writer like Ryan Coogler to do Sinners, and now you have a hit on your hands. But you guys had no faith in this movie. And
no, I didn't pirate it, John Tracy, by the way. Sorry, I am keeping an eye on the Instagram. No, it's available on digital now. Dropped on digital yesterday, right?
But are you gonna get it on VHS?
I don't. Is there a like licensed version, or is it like an art thing?
Kind of like what you did with the Substance, I'm assuming.
I think that was a licensed thing.
Oh, was it?
I could be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, if somebody has it on VHS, I'm not.
But I will say the person that I follow does their own art for the box.
Yeah, it's an art project most of the time. Yeah.
But I think the artwork is beautiful, and I felt like, man, Pablo would.
If it's available on VHS, I want everything on VHS. I want to
it's on beta too.
I will buy it on Blu-ray as well, right? Like
for the extras. And
yeah, like if there's some sort of steelbook, I do want more tangible media and whatnot.
Steelbook, it's sold out.
But yeah, I for sure, dude, I loved it. And like I said, like From Dusk Till Dawn being not just one of my favorite vampire films, but one of my favorite films ever. Like there's, like I said once more, but Coogler is a lover of film, and that love really shows. And there's like a handful of filmmakers that have that, right? Like Guillermo del Toro. Like there's some people that genuinely love that medium, that history, their movies, and they put that love in there. And that's like, obviously that's what makes the difference between a home cooked meal and a meal that you're buying out of a factory that's mass produced is the love. And that love is there, and it makes a mad, insane amount, like a huge difference within how the film turns out. But go to Hell Collider for your clickbaity thing. Warner Brothers. By the way, I saw that Warner Brothers thing with the CEO and somebody had put it with the meme of the Bugs Bunny, like the
no. I'm like, damn straight.
Yeah.
So good.
Go to hell, buddy.
Go to hell.
Cool. There's that. Let's see. Oh, okay. So this is an interesting story. You guys know who this is?
Yeah, Bobby Hundreds.
Bobby Hundreds. Famous streetwear, man. Bobby Hundreds are like probably the most famous streetwear brand ever. The Hundreds, right? One of the founders of Hundreds. Bobby Hundreds has basically been tapped, or Bobby Kim, as VP of Creative Consumer Products for Disney Americas. Let me close. This is according to, let's see, The Hollywood Reporter.
Yep.
The Hundreds co-founder has been named VP of Creative for the Americas at Disney Consumer Products. The author reveals on Tuesday on Instagram, following the announcement that his apparel label closed its longtime flagship streetwear, basically their flagship store on Fairfax Avenue. He's also stepping down as a creative director of the 22-year-old company, which will continue apparently to sell online and through other retailers. But he basically previously led also a Hundreds Disney collaboration in the past. But he basically now he is taking over for, I guess, VP for consumer products. And let me tell you, awesome for Bobby Hundreds. Like, this is kind of, I'm sure, the dream. It's really cool to see somebody like that kind of who started this kind of, guerrilla word of mouth advertised brand that became a huge success. And now getting, the proper recognition from a company like a Disney. And Disney needs it.
Disney really needs
it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a Disney nerd, but going into the Disney, like their little stores in downtown Disney, I'm just like, there's very few things that I'm really, especially for the price points that they're putting at. I'm like, I'm not gonna wear. I have like maybe like one or two things. I'm like, but I'm not gonna wear this. So if Bobby Kim Bobby Hundreds is gonna go in there and hopefully get us a little bit cooler Disney merch.
Oh yeah,
I would love that.
Yeah,
That'd be tough.
Like,
it'd be tough, right?
Yeah.
Look at this,
Like-
tough.
Disney's got a lot of cool stuff,
yeah.
but like, I can't see myself wearing half of it.
No, I know they need some stuff that's like wearable outside of Disneyland, right?
Something like there's a thing for subtlety.
Yeah.
Like it's like a lot of the stuff that I see, it's like I could probably see this at like Walmart or Target. Like the way it's designed, it's very screen, like just kind of, I don't want to say generic, but I guess that's the only term I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, it is. No, it exactly right. It's generic.
Dude, I would love for Disney to incorporate the hidden Mickey like style in clothing a little bit more, to where like if you look at it and you actually look at like what the person's wearing, you're like, that's really cool, that's Disney.
Yep.
But like at a glance, it's just kind of like,
it's like normal.
It's just normal like polo, or it's a normal t-shirt or whatever.
Well, did you I'm pulling up the Hundreds actually collab. Do you remember it was a Lost Boys thing?
Yep.
And it's a little obscure, right? It's not exactly right. It's not like just in your face.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more subtle. Maybe not as well-known characters that you see around the park, but it was cool. It was wearable. I also love that there's a Tinkerbell one that says tens.
Yeah.
Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
I haven't heard her that name in a long time.
Tink, baby.
Tink.
Tink. And look at it. There's like a Peter Pan hat. Look at this hat. Oh, you guys can't see it over there.
No, I'm showing TJ.
Oh, you got it, right? You can't see it over there, AP. But if you go to thehundreds.com, you can see the Lost Boys collab. I think from 2008 is when they did the collaboration. Wow, that's crazy to think. They had like the pirate flag. They had a green hat that said Hundreds.
Hat is sick.
Yeah. Talk about tough. This is tough.
It is.
Look at me using all this kid slang.
And you got it.
You're still with it.
I used to know what it was.
Yo, that Peter Pan, the Hundreds hat. Peter Pan
It's
hat,
cool, right? That's what I'm
actually
saying.
pretty dope.
Like, look, give me more of this.
Yeah.
Like, give me the Disney clearly, like, you guys didn't even realize a Goofy movie was a hit up until 10 years ago.
Right.
All right. And like now you're just starting to hit me with all the Goofy movie merch. And sure enough, any Goofy movie merch I'm sure that they push out is selling like crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody who has the kind of their finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
And knows what, like, dude, I want some Mickey Mouse Club from like MMC Club 90s merch. Like, where's that at?
Clubhouse merch?
Yeah, give me some MMC Club merch, give me some freaking, I don't know, give me just a couple more subtle, cool little friggin' things out there. And congrats, Bobby.
Congrats.
I'm glad you're taking on the reins. Disney, you really, really needed something like this. I am, I guess, sad that he's stepping down from the Hundreds, and the Hundreds did close on Fairfax. That's a lot of history there, but
I did see that article. It's like when one door closes, another window opens. And
hey, man,
talk about a window of opportunity to Disney. Dude, that's some shmoney right there.
Shmoney right there. Yeah. House of Mouse definitely just got a major upgrade, and can't wait to see. Apparently, too, Disney's also talking about reopening some Disney stores. I don't know if y'all know about that as well.
I didn't hear that, but that makes more sense because I feel like growing up, they were in like every mall I went to.
Dude, I know. There was Disney stores everywhere, but
dude, there's such a cool one in downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You forgot about Disney stores, AV?
Bro, that used to be like my Toys R Us back then. That was my thing.
Yeah, the Disney store, right?
Yeah, like in the malls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
how old were you when those closed down? How long? Because that wasn't that long ago.
It was
yeah.
COVID.
It was COVID.
COVID wiped the rest of them out.
Yeah, right. I was 10.
Yeah, the Disney store was awesome, man.
Yeah.
I remember
2021 is when they started closing.
11.
Even when I was a kid, I remember going into the Disney store and they had like a section that was like every plush. There was like basically a shelf of plushes. And behind it was always just like a giant screen playing like Disney scenes and music videos. And
they had like little tables and chairs to color for like the kids.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bring it back, Disney.
Bring it back.
Give me some MMC merch. All right, just give it to me already.
Give
wow,
it to
somebody on Twitch. Anyways, I like this is my favorite comment I think of the night so far.
Yeah, I saw that.
Anyways, let's see what other bit of news that we have. Oh yeah, so Netflix had their major keynote presentation event. They called it Tadum. Somebody at Netflix marketing, I guess, has their finger on the pulse, knowing that, you know, obviously we say dum dum because that's the Netflix sound, right? Do I need to explain that to anybody? All right.
I'll be honest, I don't think I understood that until you just said that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, good. The reason why it's Tadum is because of the Netflix sound that plays before every Netflix original series. Tadum. A lot of announcements came out of this. There was a performance with Lady Gaga and Jenna
Ortega.
I'm sorry, Jenna Ortega.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega. She looked badass, like kind of strutting out and sitting at that table and
as her character.
Yeah, I don't know. She's with that just kind of like in your face. There was a One Piece teaser. There was a Squid Games trailer.
That's what I'm about.
Yeah,
I'm ready for that season.
And which also is the last season.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which I love. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like I don't like I want it to end. I'm just saying like, thank you. Thank you for understanding that maybe you can you don't need to milk and drag things out. You can tell a good story, and I don't know, that was a very UK kind of show sort of thing, right? There was always like, hey, we'll give you 2 or 3 seasons because this is as much story as we have. We have a beginning, middle, and an end.
Right.
We're not gonna drag it out and freaking
make 11 seasons.
Which they very easily could.
Tommy Jeff just found out.
Okay, so clearly I don't watch this stuff. Happy Gilmore 2?
Yeah, there was a Happy Gilmore, which also,
dude,
I'll tell you,
so stoked about
I was
this
not
now.
when I like heard about the announcement that they were making Happy Gilmore, I was like, come on. But the trailer looks great.
Yeah, dude.
It looks so good.
Bro, my favorite thing about Adam Sandler is that you're just gonna sit down and no matter how amazing or how terrible it is, you're gonna enjoy the damn movie.
For you know what? For a minute there in the mid 2000s, I feel like people were really hating on Adam Sandler.
Like, is it Jack and Jill?
I don't know, just because they were like, oh, it's the same thing and a goofy, and it's like, but I like he's
different.
He is different, and he is a generational comedian. And I feel like now it was like the same way people hated on Keanu for a minute, right? Like, but then like his career, obviously, like he's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? It's undeniable how great he is. And yeah, man, I am so excited about this Happy Gilmore too. It looks so great.
So when it drops, we should all watch it. Like we should all drop it.
Do we have a date on that, by the way, on Happy Gilmore too?
I will look into it.
Okay, yeah. So
July 25th.
Oh, so
man,
next month.
Let's go. I'm for it. And then we also got a Stranger Things 5. Once again, Collider though with the weird. I remember there was a Collider article. They're like, "Do we still care about Stranger Things 3 years later?" And I'm like, "Yes." Can we just? I want to see how this ends. Collider, shut up. You're fucking 2 for 2 on my shit list, Collider. All right. I thought I liked Collider.
I've never heard about Stranger Things.
What?
So wait, what'd you say?
I've never heard a bad thing.
Okay.
About Stranger Things.
No, but
I've heard of Stranger. I've heard of it. I'm not that out of the loop, guys. Like, oh my gosh,
dude. But I'm like, Collider. And then I was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? And I was reading the comments, and somebody said, you do this every season. They're like, do we still care about Stranger Things after this long? It's like, yeah, I'm sure they're older. I love the memes of like people posting of like somebody posted like a shot of like grown-ups, and they're like a sneak peek of Stranger Things season 5 or Wet Hot American Summer, and they're like a sneak peek. I get it. They're older now, but I'm okay to have seen these characters grow up. And as long Stranger Things, was it the season with them all? Was that 2 or 3?
That was
3.
3.
That
Was
Phenomenal.
tough.
some of the best TV.
Oh yeah.
That season, because
The marketing on that was insane too. Like
with the mall
with
and
the
then
mall, the
Stranger
ice
Things
cream.
Live.
the ice cream, that the whatever it's called, Ahoy.
Yeah.
Chips Ahoy.
Chips Ahoy? No, that's
I'm
Chip.
lying.
Oh, we're so confused and old.
But like, yeah,
checks out.
Baskin Robbins did the
Scoops
whole
Ahoy.
like
Scoops
yes,
Ahoy.
it
There you
was.
go.
Scoops Ahoy. They did the whole
Yeah,
like
they're
Baskin
like
Robbins. Like that's the only way you get the Funko Pop. That's how you got like the cutouts and the hats they were
Dude,
giving out.
People
went nuts for that.
Yeah, season 3 is probably my favorite season, I think, of that whole series. And then yeah, man, I don't know. And obviously season 4 revitalized Kate Bush in a way of
Yeah.
it made people recognize the brilliance that was Kate Bush. And I'm very whoa, AP. I normally sing on this show. Go ahead, hit us with it.
If I only could, I'll make a deal with the God, and I'd get him to swap our places.
All right.
Yeah.
Round of applause. Yeah, no, I love that it introduced a whole new generation to Kate Bush.
Oh yeah.
Like I look,
And D&D.
I am and D&D, like all these things. Yeah, absolutely. And the Ghost, I mean, like, come
Ghost,
on,
yeah.
how are you gonna stop, Collider? Get off your high horse.
For real.
Yeah, I'm very stoked to see Stranger Things season 5. The end here.
Right. And the marketing was cool too because it comes out like September. They come back in November, and then
yeah, it's a 3-parter.
It's a 3-part, and then the season, like the final episode,
Is it like New Year's?
is New Year's Eve.
Yeah, so they're like, we're gonna part 1, part 2, and then the season finale is
finale.
basically like a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I like that whole model. And I mean, I don't know, obviously Duffer Brothers, I don't know much about the Duffer Brothers. I know they've had their fair share of controversy, but I do love the success story of Stranger Things being rejected by so many people. And it was at a time too when Netflix was giving creators opportunity and greenlighting things that nobody else was greenlighting. So there's like, that's a pretty great success story. Obviously, I don't think Netflix is doing that anymore. But at that time, that's pretty cool to kind of have seen like, hey, like they took a chance on this thing and it became a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah.
Right. And it was a thing that's like, once more, studio execs don't understand what people want.
Right.
These people had their fingers like, no, who's going to want to watch another? Like, what? Have you heard of the Goonies? Have you heard of the Monster Squad? Have you heard of freaking, like, so many different things that is an amalgamation to make Stranger Things. And yeah, we're stoked. Any favorite announcements? AP, you're a One Piece guy.
I mean, not really. No.
No, I thought you were a One Piece guy.
No, I'm a Naruto.
You're a Naruto guy.
Yeah, the other day he was trying to say that Naruto wasn't an anime.
No, I got mixed up with like Ty. Stop giving me this look.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I got confused with Avatar.
How do you,
Because you guys
get that mixed
You
up?
guys gave me shit. You're like, Avatar's not really an anime.
No.
Remember, you're like,
I never said that.
you said that. I'll find that clip.
Okay. Well, technically,
Because you're like, it's a
not.
Nickelodeon show. Yeah.
Well, technically,
Nickelodeon.
it's not. It wasn't done by an anime studio.
Yeah.
So it's an animation.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly.
Naruto is an anime.
Yes, that's what I was saying. No, I got it mixed up with. Avatar.
Isn't anime animation specifically produced in Japan too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a U.S. production, bro.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. That's why. No, I don't know. I was giving him a hard time about it. Stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Disney
He was
would
about
be
to
an
make me crash
anime.
out.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to
Yeah.
Kurt Merlot for the sticker on my Stanley here. Kurt,
What even is that? Like,
really cool. It's from his Gunk magazine. Definitely find Kurt Merlot on social media. At some point, I got to get him on the show.
no, like what's he doing?
Yeah, he's got some fancy
X-ray.
X-ray vision, man.
Oh,
He got some X-ray vision, seeing the rotted flesh beneath this beautiful woman's face.
I don't know about beautiful in that picture.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
No, there's some
Michaela-
truth to that.
I don't watch One Piece. My brother does actually, but Michaela Hoover got casted as that little furry character. That was a part of the Tadum announcement. And-
Chopper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Cool.
I mean,
Cool.
Pablo, you may recognize Michaela Hoover as the woman that was the secretary in the Suicide Squad. She was
Yeah,
in the
I
first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and she's the reporter in the new Superman movie.
I'm familiar with Michaela Hoover.
Oh yeah,
I see the vision.
as Chopper. Okay, as a
Oh,
little
no,
moose
not
thing.
that.
So my favorite announcement is that what you asked?
Yeah,
Sorry.
what was it? Any favorite announcement?
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Oscar Isaacs.
Mia Goth.
Mia Goth. Absolutely, man.
100%. That's definitely my hands down favorite notes.
Just more Guillermo.
More Guillermo, please.
Please.
Begging.
Yeah.
It's coming out.
Give that man more projects.
That's dropping in November, yeah?
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
more Guillermo working on classic,
Yes.
famous Universal monsters.
Yeah.
Because we got Shape of Water.
Dude.
We're going to get his Frankenstein. If there's a vampire Dracula type franchise out there, you can give that man. If you're going to give him a werewolf franchise, Wolfman franchise,
You know what I want?
we'll take it.
And
some Mummy.
I want season 2 of Cabinet of Curiosities. That's what I want.
Oh, yeah.
I like those.
Was that wasn't Netflix though?
It was
that,
Netflix.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll get more.
Please.
See how this Frankenstein thing does.
Please.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, the Wake Up Dead Man, the Knives Out mystery.
Yes, that's right.
Which apparently too, Ryan Johnson doesn't love that they call them the Knives Out mystery. Although it is what's his name? Something Blanche.
Yeah.
He doesn't love, but he's like, that was a studio thing that they're adding Knives Out mystery. What's up, babe? You got something?
I don't know if y'all know about this show, but y'all know All of Us Are Dead or no?
No.
No.
I do know about.
It's I think I don't know what it's called. It's like the Japanese show.
Korean.
Korean. My fault.
Oh, Johnny
Yeah.
Jeff
You've
looked
seen
it
it?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're coming out with season 2, I think, sometime soon.
Was that announced at Tadum?
Yeah, I don't
Tadum.
know. Tadum. But it's a good show. I really enjoyed it, and it's just about some kids that are in a school and they're trapped because it was like a zombie apocalypse that broke out. So yeah,
okay,
very interesting show.
That's your recommendation here.
Recommendation.
I'm gonna watch this if it's not good.
Yeah, it's one season. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
You're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Season 2 is supposed to be dropping sometime this year.
Yeah, sometime this year.
I cannot. Everything's AI jumbled.
But I won't lie though, the dub is terrible. It's.
So watch it in its original format. You're saying
Well,
you just watch it with subtitles.
I mean, do whatever you want, but what I mean by the dub is when they talk, it's like
it's not. Well, I mean,
it's
that's
so
Squid
off.
Games as well. Does anybody watch Squid Games? Do you watch Squid Games as it dubbed, or do you watch it?
I watch dub.
Do you watch Squid Games dubbed, or do you watch it subtitles?
I watch it with subtitles. I watch it in Korean.
I don't watch it.
All right.
Tell me, Jeff's like, wait, stop looking at me.
Theme of the show today.
Yeah.
I don't watch shit.
I just got busy. He's got a real life over here, just obsessed about all these dumb things. I've seen it in both. I do. You know what's funny is if you watch it dubbed with subtitles. Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Nah.
The subtitles are clearly different from the dubbing.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm assuming to try to. Isn't Netflix?
Every anime too.
Isn't Netflix one of those companies that's pushing for the AI dubbing?
I have no idea.
I think so.
Yeah, because that's like there's some positives as much as people are going to demonize AI, but there are some positives to it, and I think one of the things that they're talking about is dubbing or fixing the way that the lips sync to dubbing in films using AI is one of those things. But I want to say Netflix is one of the companies that are pushing, but they're getting some sort of pushback for it for contractual reasons. I couldn't give you all the legalities of it or whatever it may be. Because I don't know if it's like altering the original product or whatever it may be. But I'm not opposed to AI fixing people's with dubbing in lips.
As long as you don't take the creator out of the creativity.
There you go.
Right.
And as long as you compensate people and you don't replace the people.
Just use AI as a tool that it's meant to be used
100%.
as. Yeah.
AI, there's the inevitability where it's going to replace some things that we do. And that's
Like paralegals.
and
Yeah.
yeah. And unfortunately we'll have to do it. Machines did it, right? And we use machines day in, day out, computers, the printing press, all of it. It's an inevitability.
Yeah.
But we adapt, and the thing is I think there's this I'll go on tangent.
Go.
I'll support
Tangent,
I support
baby.
AI to a degree, but
Me
it
too.
needs to be a tool, and it can't be a crutch, and it can't be a true replacement.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest thing.
There needs to be
Because
regulation.
we're gonna grow around it as a society. It's here, it's all around us. Everything's doing it. YouTube already uses it for subtitles.
Yeah.
Every subtitle on YouTube is AI.
I mean, in
That's
theory,
why.
we use it when we create clips using clip, like whether you're using CapCut or edits or whatever it may be, you more than likely are using AI because it's using AI to analyze what you say and create the little words that you are reading along with most of the times, because most people don't watch their videos with sound. But Yeah, I once more, I think just use it as a tool. I'm not opposed to AI. I mean, obviously, like, you know, hey, when video editing went to digital from the traditional cutting of film, like, people freaked out about that because they're like, you're ruining the process of video editing. You should do that, you know, whatever. You should only, you know, use the classic video editing techniques. And this isn't true video editing, but it allowed and made things more accessible for certain people. I'm not opposed to, like, although, man, I'm tripped out by some of these Google Gemini videos that I'm seeing of the people with the prompts and whatnot.
Crazy, bro.
It's crazy. But
I've never been hyped about AI, but Gemini, and like, dude, I'm so hyped for Gemini.
Scary, I feel like,
because it's it's so cool.
It can be scary. It depends on whose hands it goes into.
Yeah, that's very true. It is
right. It's like it can be used for propaganda at some point.
100%.
Scammers gonna have a field day with that.
And how do you differentiate? You all right over there, Ty?
What's good, bro?
Good. What are you looking at? What are you looking up over here?
Looking
You got
up.
something. You're
No.
cooking on something. You're cooking. What are you cooking
Not
up?
cooking. Don't worry about it.
What?
Don't worry about it.
What are you cooking?
Don't worry about it.
What do you gotta say?
Nothing.
Steve's Lava Chicken?
Steve's Lava Chicken.
What's that?
Oh, whoa, we're
Oh.
on news and stuff.
Yeah.
What does that
Nintendo
mean?
Switch midnight.
Tonight.
It's already, bruh. People are
what
already
I
have the
showed you.
Nintendo Switch too.
Is that what you're
Bruh, it is out. People are lined up in California if they didn't do a 9 p.m. release. Like,
Wait,
man, Nintendo Switch 2.
There's a Nintendo Switch too.
Yeah. Where
Wait.
have you been?
It's dropping tonight at midnight,
You've
baby.
never told me this.
People in New Zealand have had it for like the entire day today because that's how time zones work. Bruh, but the Nintendo Switch 2.
Lucky son of a
It's here.
monkeys.
It is here. Mario Kart.
You hear about the thing that's Nintendo's warning people not to take off the protective screen?
But just
Yeah,
kind
but
of
like
support.
that's on the first Nintendo Switch.
I know.
too, and
I just think
never,
it's funny.
I never even knew it was on there.
I didn't know either.
Like, is it more noticeable? I don't have it in my hands. I haven't seen it in person yet, so I don't know. But like, how noticeable is it that Nintendo has to remind people?
How hard do you think that Switch is going to be to get once it officially? I know, like, we did all the pre-orders.
So I
there-
had learned a little bit earlier today, or at like maybe just a couple of hours ago, that Nintendo is preemptively sending sold out signs to retailers to prepare for the inevitability that it is in fact sold out.
What if I just want to upgrade my Switch 1 to the Switch OLED?
Go to GameStop or wherever.
I can do
you
that,
want.
right?
Yeah.
What up,
Okay.
AP?
Quick question: what are we eating for dinner?
Oh my God, this is not the time for that.
No.
Lazy
Oh.
dog.
Can we get dinner where we can get fortune cookies? I would love a fortune cookie.
I haven't had Chinese food in a long time.
Yeah.
I'd be down for
Fortune
that too.
cookies. Think about it. Because your fortune, Pablo, is that every podcast going forward will always include cats somewhere in the conversation.
Don't threaten me with a good time,
Bruh.
buddy.
Nah, that's
I love it. Let's talk cat. We'll do a whole friggin' series on this shit.
This will
Break
be
down
my-
the T.S. Eliot poems, break down the original Broadway play and the movie.
This will be my last podcast.
This
man.
Congratulations, everybody who scored a Switch 2, I guess, out there.
Yeah, legit congrats, because honestly, enjoy Mario Kart World.
Yeah,
And,
that's
and
a
then
cool
Donkey
thing.
Kong comes out next month.
So can
I'm
those
not-
only be played
Hold.
on the 2?
Mario Kart World is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2, yes.
I don't love their licensing agreement things, and from what I've read, but I don't have all the information, right? I'm just kind of like what I see on social media from a few little things talking about their, like, how the game, like, the cartridges aren't even really game cartridges, they're just technically a digital download. And once more, I'm a fan of tangible media.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see me rocking GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64 because they can't take that from me, okay? When the internet goes out.
They are making a new James Bond game.
They did GoldenEye for the Switch now.
No, I'm just saying that's part of it was
Dude, I
literally
love
announced today
GoldenEye.
at IGN Live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a bunch of video game announcements today.
I would love another GoldenEye. That game, I replayed it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Bro, it's just as
It's great.
nostalgic as I remember it.
It's
I
still good.
I was playing multiplayer with that too.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Bruh.
Pete, have you ever played GoldenEye?
No.
We're playing GoldenEye.
Dude,
this summer. We're
I'm
playing
gonna-
GoldenEye.
This summer, I'm fucking taking you to school, son. All right?
I don't want to go to school.
We're gonna
I'm out already.
Summer school, baby. No, I'm saying
That's worse.
GoldenEye was the game.
It was.
It legit
It was a first-person shooter, and there's a versus mode where you just walk around and your objective is just to shoot your opponent.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're gonna find out, and then you're gonna give me a full review on the next podcast.
TJ has
about
his
it.
right now.
I don't have my Switch.
What?
I know my backpack's empty. I hosed it down and cleaned everything out, so I'm slowly putting everything back in.
You pooping it? Why didn't you hose it down?
Nah, just sometimes it gets a little dusty and dirty from hikes.
Yeah,
Fair.
exactly.
You know,
Fair.
Yeah. Tommy
Dude,
Jeff
AP is
actually
defended.
goes
He's like,
outside. He actually goes outside. He has to
is why I
watch
don't go.
movies
Is
like
why
we
I don't go to theaters and watch stuff like the Netflix Tadum.
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 Oh, Tadum.
Any more news and stuff?
No, but I am hungry, and if we are going to Lazy Dog, we are definitely getting some deviled eggs
Yeah, for sure.
because those are they've got some really good ones.
So, any more news?
Can I just say something?
MP,
real
you
quick?
got some news?
Not,
stuff?
not specifically news, but I had some friends that they wanted to shout out. Can I shout them out?
Yeah, shout out your buddies.
Jonathan, Austin, and Ian. There's your shout out. Yeah.
I love that.
That's all you
That's
get.
it.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing
Jonathan,
else.
Austin, and Ian.
Yep.
Jonathan, Austin, Ian.
Squad right
Shout
now.
What
you out.
up?
Yeah.
Too bad you're not in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bump, bump.
Bum. Hey, y'all aren't gonna recognize Adrian's gonna come back all tan with frosted tips and super jack.
Tips.
Get the bundle right now for
Frosted tips in the hair, buddy.
I was thinking.
Wow, these kids, this generation, man.
I thought you were talking
Oh,
about
yo,
something else.
Oh,
GameStop's got the Nintendo Switch
Bundle.
2 bundle live right now. You can buy it.
Today's haul.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Wow. Oh, you had some news and stuff?
No, I had something for a haul. It's fine. Go ahead.
Did you get anything? Did you go to comic
I
shop?
did not go to the comic book store, but I unboxed something recently.
What is that?
Did you bring it?
No.
Ty.
Listen,
Ty.
it's fine.
I went
It's
to a
been a
comic
day.
shop today. AP went to a comic shop with me today.
Nice.
Ty
Normally goes.
normally goes to a comic shop. Tommy Jeff listens to us talk about comics.
I'm never invited. That's why.
This Tommy Jeff,
I've never once been invited
You
by you
work.
guys. Yeah, I do work.
you have a job.
I do. I have a job.
J-
Do you want me to next Wednesday? You want to come with us to comic shop?
No, I can't. I work.
We feed you the comics. We went to a comic shop. It was a smaller week.
Yes, it was.
It was a smaller
Adventure
week.
Time came out though.
Oh, so you had something for Adventure Time?
No, I'll tell you about it. Go ahead, do your thing. I'll talk about it.
Do your thing.
This came out the First Americans issue 2. Our fine friends at Critical Entertainment, Christopher Rita and Tad Gulsha. Did I pronounce that right? Galusha, sorry. Of the First Americans at the end of the Ice Age, on the brink of starvation, a brave tribe of Paleo Indians journeys from Siberia to North America to hunt the elusive herd of mammoths. When they fail to hunt down the beasts, the tribe must struggle through unexplored lands to survive or face becoming extinct.
No, that's
Hey.
an alpha.
True story, right? This is kind of how these things happen during this, or theories, right? Of how, where people came from, how we landed into North Americas, or frozen lakes from Siberia, indigenous tribes from there traveled along in hunting, looking for food during this time. I want to say Chris at some point told me that, and this is cool because you can put this in classrooms.
Mhm.
We love the fine folks at Critical Entertainment. They sent us a bunch of cool stuff, but I specifically love their purest approach. Like it is, and this is what AP was bashing us for, but this is comics.
I was bashing you.
Well, you're bashing comics because it's not enough real reading. It's pictures.
Oh, okay. Wait. Can I just pledge my case for 1 second?
No, yeah, we're not. Why you gotta bring this up right
Oh,
now?
my fault.
Why?
Why are you gonna silence?
Like, all right. So-
Censorship is un-American.
oh my
Oh.
gosh, this ain't look out there. It's America, and here,
In here, it is still America.
no, he was look. Anyways, don't interrupt here. Don't interrupt here, y'all.
Absolutely interrupt.
The First Americans is really cool book. Once more, it's this medium in its purest form because it is visual storytelling with you don't need a lot of words. This can get across to a lot of people of all reading, levels.
Mhm.
And it is beautifully drawn. Beautiful illustrations by Tad Galusha here, lettered by Travis Lanham. written by Christopher Rita. This is available at your local comic shops. Definitely check out Critical Entertainment's website. I pulled out their other book. At some point, I do want to get Chris in here because one of my favorite books.
Oh yeah,
by them is Space Dragon. Dude, I like love this book. I'm a big sci-fi nerd and just outer space, but once more, they're doing some really awesome stuff. There's some really great artwork, really beautiful things coming out of the fine folks at Critical Entertainment. If you, the First Americans, you should be able to find issue 1 at your local comic shop. Issue 2 just dropped. Go to Critical Entertainment's website to see how you can pick up some more of their books. Smaller publisher, definitely support them. They are super awesome. But that dropped this week. Issue 2 of Buried Long Ago. If you were a fan of true crime, if you were a fan of American history, I mean, I want to say American History X, right? Not the movie, but like untold American history. Buried Long Ago is basically based on true events from the early 1900s. So from 1901 to 1908, there was a woman by the name of Bella Guinness who lured dozens of lonely men into her Indiana farm and savagely murdered them for their money. And because Bella managed to avoid basically capture and face trial. Also, you got to think at that time, they didn't even think women were capable of such things, like being serial killers.
Was she buff or something?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hell's Bell.
Yeah, Hell's Bell. Yeah, Bella again is basically
Bean beef.
she is. She basically, a lot of her story is untold. And Anthony Cleveland, Alex Cormack, and Justin Birch. This is one of my favorite comics out right now. Issue 2 just dropped. If you can find issue 1. Once more, Mad Cave Studios, they're hitting. Mad Cave Studios has some really great comics, and I cannot recommend Married Long Ago. This version is a little bit of historical fiction because it's told through this perspective of her 3 younger children. We do have an episode. Go ahead and watch our other episode where we break down issue 1, titled Become Queen. The relevance to that title is in this book. But definitely you can discover there are far worse and more evil things on their mother's farm of something that was buried long ago. Available at your local comic shop. Just dropped today, issue 2. Issue 1 came out in April. Find it at your local comic shop. So that's kind of my haul.
Nice.
And then the book that we're going to be reading or discussing right now.
Be Not Afraid.
Be Not Afraid. Absolutely. Be Not Afraid from Boom Studios. Issue 1. It's a brand new horror series here. Cora Reams lives in the isolated life of a simple farm girl until one fateful summer day, prophetic visions brought from her visitor, made of pure light, an angel. In the aftermath, Cora gives birth to a child, a Nephilim, which I actually didn't even piece that together, honestly, until I read the synopsis. But I guess her child is a Nephilim, the offspring of an angel and a human woman, seemingly imbued with evil itself. 17 years later, the child appears and can no longer hide his monstrous nature. Frogs boil on their skin as he under their skin as he passes. Crops rot. The townspeople live in fear, knowing that the atrocities follow closely behind him. Now, on the eve of his 18th birthday, Cora receives a new vision. Heaven itself has called upon her to destroy the abomination born of her own flesh and blood. Be Not Afraid is a breathtaking new series from visionary writer Jude Ellison S. Doyle of Ma and Hello Darkness, and acclaimed artist Lisandro Estherren. Estherren of Nightmare County. It's equal parts feminist rage with folk horror. This descent into hell itself is fueled by mythology, underpinning an American evangelical tradition, presenting brutal cosmic horrors through the lens of a Southern Gothic, a truly otherworldly journey that cannot be missed. From Boom Studios, just dropped this week. This is the book that we're discussing. We all read it. Even AP. I got him to read something. I just had to lure him by being on a podcast. This kid doesn't want to read anything.
Nah, but no kid, because I have a reason though. Like nobody wants to read outside of school, unless if you like comics and stuff. Like, unless if you're like comics or, Unless I feel like comics or something.
Yeah, he's in school. He's like, I don't want to read stuff
on my summer break.
This is summer vacation, and I forget what that was, right?
Yeah, man.
But I did like comics.
Summer vacay.
Yeah, I'm like the kids in the Goofy movie. They're like, get down with the textbook and up with the comics. Right? I don't know. That was me. But yeah, so he doesn't. He's like, I'm on summer vacation. I don't want any required reading. But we did read Be Not Afraid.
Hell yeah.
Like 5 minutes. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was. It's a very visual sort of book. Let me see. Colored by Francesco Segala.
It's a cool name. I like that name.
And lettered by Simon Boland as well.
Not a cool name.
Damn.
Wow, harsh critics on people's names around here.
You know?
We have two covers, by the way. This is this cover. Ty, I think you have the other cover. There's more covers. Did you? Yeah, that's a pretty cool cover as well.
Yeah, this is cover A.
That's tough.
That's cover A. This is cover, I'm going to assume B. It'll tell me in the inside. This issue's 1 of 6, by the way. So this is going to be a 6-part series. Ty, why should people read Be Not Afraid?
Be Not Afraid.
Why should they not be afraid?
Well,
Be not afraid.
The only thing you need to be afraid of is waiting until the next issue.
Oh, this guy sold. Damn. Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. I really like the art. It's almost very mixed of Scary Story Street in the Dark and Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah.
I know that's like a weird kind of like.
Wow.
I think it hits it on the nail though.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And I love it too because like, you know, we kind of talk about like the true form of the angel. Like that's the cover that you have. I like the use of shadows, and like what makes this particularly haunting is that there are panels where the shadowing is done just right, so you just see the eyes and the teeth.
Yeah.
It's like that like level of unsettledness is what you kind of crave in a horror comic.
Well, there's also like a distortion within the image, like a weird slanting, like kind of like making you feel like things are like a little dizzy.
Yeah, and there's like movement. Like
what was the freaking movie that I'm thinking of? Not True Romance, Natural Born Killers.
Okay.
Oliver Stone. You know how like they do that with the camera with like the weird like distortion and flexing of the image?
Yes.
That this comic does that within its panels, right?
No, absolutely. And I think like the unsettlingness of like the main character, like the smiles, the like knowing what's that movie? I know like that's gonna come to me later, but basically, you know, like the child is like just like this book, the child is all powerful.
The Omen.
Yeah. And, like there's like nothing you can do about it. You just gotta pray that you don't piss them off.
Yeah.
And I think that's horror in itself, right? Knowing that you have no power over the situation.
There was a really cool Twilight Zone episode too, and I think The Simpsons even did a parody of it.
Of like Bart?
Yeah. Of like this one boy, like everybody in town is afraid of him.
He changes people.
Yeah, because he knows that he has like a power.
And he can mind read and everything.
And what was the comic that we read with the people that had like the kids that aged rapidly?
Oh, you're thinking of Kids.
And it's a
Garth Ennis.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was a little different because that was like every baby turned into a full-size adult, but they had the mentality of a baby.
Yeah, there's
strength of
but there's something terrifying I think about, I don't know, the unpredictability of children and their tantrums in adult form. Obviously not that with this, but I don't know. We're digressing here. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Go ahead.
No. Like, that's all I really had to say. Like, it's really well done. Art's great. Like you said, the distortion effects, the story, and like the use of color, right? Like it's a lot of dark blacks and yellows and shadows. And then you just have the main character who has like the blonde hair and the blue eyes that are just like standing out.
Blonde hair, blue eyed devils.
What's wrong with that?
No, I'm just saying. In this book, they're portraying him as the devil. And then even like there's a page, I think it's issue 1, we could spoil it, right?
Yeah, it's issue 1.
Of the grandmother with like the face.
Oh yeah.
And then like just that power dynamic of him telling the mom what to do. It's like unsettling because you never want to see a kid be disrespectful to a parent.
That's right, AP.
Athena mom will put him in his spot though.
Your mom would. His mom's not.
His mom's
Yeah.
is not in the power dynamic to do so.
I love you, mom.
Yeah, why'd you shout out your friends and not your mom?
Wow.
Shout out to my mother too.
Always shout out your mother first.
I love you, mother, again.
Tommy Jeff, what do you think about the comic?
Well,
What are your thoughts here?
I'm not afraid.
Yeah, are you not?
It is because I'm not gonna lie. This is a comic that I honestly immediately forgot everything about it when I finished reading it.
Oh, wow.
It did not stay in my head at all. I looking at it and like you guys saw me read this.
It's because of the Switch 2's out.
Yeah, you got the Switch 2 on the brain.
He's got too much on his mind right now.
AKA the kill switch, by the way, which John Tracy reminded me here in the chat that there is a kill switch if you try to mod out your Switch.
Oh yeah,
They'll brick it.
Crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways,
ruthless.
we can go on. Yeah, Nintendo. No, I wasn't thinking about the Switch at all when I was reading this. In fact, I did enjoy it. I was looking at like the first couple of pages that like Courage the Cowardly Dog is so apt to, specifically this one panel where they're in the field. No, it wasn't memorable to me. Sorry.
That's fair. That's your opinion.
I got nothing to add besides I have forgotten everything about it.
Wow. Instantly.
Yeah, quite.
Wow. I'm gonna chalk that up to the Switch 2. AP, what do you think about this book? You're not a comic reader, you're not a big reader. Well, how'd this book make you feel, buddy?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm somewhat along the same lines as TJ.
You forgot about it.
I forgot a little bit about it, but I also did remember like the main parts about like how he was like a Nephilim. Is that what it's called? Nephilim.
Yeah.
About how he was an evil child and that was very disrespectful to his parents. And I mean, honestly, I kind of find it crazy that yeah.
Yeah, the Nephilim, like it's crazy. He was evil. I didn't think that the Nephilims were, but I guess this is what they're kind of claiming to be. I thought the Nephilims were giants, or they were
evil people.
No, I thought the Nephilims were angels that did walk the earth. But I guess in this case, they're talking about the Nephilims being a combination of an angel and a child. I mean, an angel, a human, procreating. And I'll tell you. So I mean, I have the book right in front of me. I love the art. I think you're right. It is kind of like there's something kind of cartoony about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess a little cowardly dogish. What was the other thing that you kind of?
Scary stories to read.
Yeah. It is. There's like it's interesting. It's like pencil colory.
Yes.
It's like a lot of like I don't know if chiaroscuro is the proper term for it, where it's like
I know we need
a lot of crosshatchy kind of lookingness to it. I don't think this is it, but it is a lot of interesting shadow and penciling. I love the art.
Yeah.
And I love this weird off kilter distortion within the images because obviously that is adding. See, the thing with this is an issue 1.
Correct.
It is a little confusing. I will give you that from the get go. It's a little like I'm probably gonna have to give this another pass over at some point. Yeah, you have some.
Also, too, another thing I wanted to point out is that I don't know if this is just me with not reading comics at all, but I never knew that comics had like issue 1s, issue 2. I never knew.
Do you read mangas? You read mangas, huh? Manga. Don't you read some manga?
I mean, not really. I mean, I'll read it online, but yeah, I never really knew that like they would release one issue and then like
so the way that this will work is so this is an issue 1. The reason why we're highlighting this book too is because you need no prior knowledge or insight to be able to enjoy or comprehend this comic. Right. So you can walk in your local comic shop. You don't need any prior history. You can go in and be like, because that's what I think thing that most people find intimidating about comics is like, I don't know anything about Iron Man or Superman and all these backstories. You can just go right into this and be like, hey, this is an issue 1. It's a brand new story. It's not a superhero thing. But yeah, in this case, every month you'll get a new part to this story.
Every month?
Yeah.
Sometimes more.
That book is like 5 minutes long though.
This book is going to be a 6-parter. So you'll get 6 of these single issues.
6 months. Wow.
Yeah, and then eventually they compile this into what they call a trade paperback. So if they like this comic book, they will be like, well, I mean, once somebody who likes this comic and they're like, I want this story completed. I don't necessarily just want the single issues. I'm going to go in and I'm going to get this compiled, the full story from beginning to end. It's compiled in what's called a trade paperback. And that's a compilation of comics. In this case, it's only 6 parts. If this does well, they could even do like a part 2, right? And maybe you get 6 more issues. Some comics have 12 issues. Some comics are ongoing, so it can happen for years.
Crazy.
And every month you get a little short story like in this format.
Is it always every month, or is it just like this one?
So every Wednesday is New Comic Book Day. So every Wednesday you can go to your local comic shop and you can say, hey, I want to, today's Wednesday. I know. That's why we do the podcast on Wednesdays.
That's aura.
Yeah. So every Wednesday you can walk in your comic shop and you can see the newest comics that came out. Right. And that's kind of what we're trying to do too, is like, hey, like, you don't need to know about Superman or Batman or all that backstory. I just want to go into a comic shop and find a cool story. And it's short. It's a short little something you can kind of just digest. And
so you're telling me every Wednesday you go buy a new comic?
Every Wednesday I probably buy a little stack of comics, actually.
So,
which is why you organizing this whole space. He was like, how many comics do you have?
Nah, that's crazy. No, but be honest. How much, like just in this year by itself, how much do you think you spent on comics?
That's a loaded question, buddy.
Loaded.
This comic cost $4.99. This is $5.
So times 50. Wow, that's a lot. It's $200 in itself. Wait.
A year, maybe. What if you're 52 times 5? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, 50. Well, that's 25 then. Well, it's 25 something. Yeah.
Yeah. Look. Yeah.
Some comics are $10.
Some comics. Some. I will buy some trades. There'll be one that's. So there's another thing that's a graphic novel, and it's a complete story from beginning to end. That's not in this single format, and that graphic novel will have a complete story in a book, thicker book. And that could be like a $30.
So you're saying you spend between $500 to $1,000 on comics a year? Okay, the thousand's a stretch, but like still.
I'm
doing the math.
I spend probably more than $1,000 on comics a year. No, no.
We'd have customers that have like 20 things on their pull list, so yeah, they spend a lot more. It's a hobby. Some books are worth a lot too. Like,
pick up that. There's a book right there to the right of you called Black Science at the very top. That is a complete run of an entire comic book series. I have all those single issues. How much is that book? On the very back, it'll tell you.
$60.
That's a $60, but that's every issue of Black Science.
Gosh, it's like.
Which I want to say is like 60 issues, maybe. Is that right?
I want to say, yeah.
This is heavy.
It'll tell you. It's like compiles issues 1 through something at the very bottom in the back. Issues 1 through.
Am I blind? Oh, 1 through 43.
Okay, so 43 issues.
Gosh.
For $60 there. Black Science, one of my favorite series there.
I'm not gonna lie, like the art's beautiful though.
At $5 a pop, that's roughly $215.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I got it at a deal, right?
Yeah.
I like this compendium. No, I just showing it just so you can hold on to it. Yeah, that's a big, thick book.
Thick.
With 2 C's. But yeah, no, I mean, look, this is how this is how it hashes out sometimes.
What's cool about that is how thick that book is. If you think of 43 issues,
at $5 a pop.
That's probably like a 3-hour read. That whole book.
Oh, like, that's light.
Yeah, but it's a thick book, because if that was all words, you'd look at that and be like, that's going to take me months.
Yeah. But, well, I mean, no, and this is what me and Adrian were discussing. I feel like oftentimes people do think that. They're like, oh, comics can be easier reads. But we also discredit the fact that visually we do have to ingest art.
Yeah.
Right? I don't just look at an image. I'm just like, oh, that's it. Right? If we're looking at a beautiful work of art, if you're looking at a beautiful photo, right, they'll say like a picture's worth 1,000 words. Our mind still has to process that.
Right.
And a good artist is going to can tell an insane story. Like, have you ever seen a Where's Waldo?
A Where's
Waldo book?
No.
Waldo.
You ever seen Where's Waldo? We have to find
striped shirt.
Hold on.
Like find it. Like you've seen one of those pictures that's got like a bunch of things in it. And it's like, find this tiny little thing or find
Where's Waldo? I thought you were talking about Arthur.
So you've seen Where's Waldo, right?
Yeah, I've seen Where's Waldo.
Okay, so one Where's Waldo image. Really cool. And you could spend a lot of time because you're looking for Waldo in that, right?
There was a Waldo, Where's Waldo show.
Yeah. You don't remember the show?
It came out in 2019. No, I do not.
No, there was an earlier one. There was like a Fox Kids one, wasn't it?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Was it bad?
But I mean, no, it was just early Saturday morning cartoon stuff. But we don't always account for a good artist is going to give you stimulation in the same way that reading something will. Right. Because you have to ingest good imagery, specifically Matteo Scalera in that Black Science book, one of my favorite artists. You're right. That book is beautiful. And there is so much in there to ingest. So it's not like you're just reading the words. It's a combination of visual storytelling with words that your mind has to process. And that's also what's beautiful about the medium, right? Let's say you have a really cool story as well. This is something that artists and storytellers, and what's so beautiful about the collaboration of comic books. If I have a story about an astronaut who meets aliens in outer space, and I'm a filmmaker, but that's a very high concept film for me to make, right? That sort of like a good version of that story for me to make as a film would cost millions of dollars. Whereas in myself and a really good artist can tell a really good, compelling story just as good as a multi-million-dollar film through ink and paper and colors in a comic book. So you can do high concept stories without the high concept budget that exists within Hollywood. And that's also beautiful. It's like you have the ability to tell a great, beautiful story without the restrictions that you have through other forms of visual media. So there's a lot of beauty behind, was it a little hiccup, Tommy Jeff?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There's a lot of beauty behind this medium, and I do love it. I love the art in Be Not Afraid. I love the colors. I am interested. Would you read issue 2 of this book?
Maybe.
Are you interested? Did this issue 1 capture you enough to where I was like, hey, I have issue 2 right here. Do you want to read and see what happens next?
Okay, hear me out. So if I had issue 2 right then and there, I would honestly read it. If I had all 6 issues, I probably would read it. Because I mean, I was a little hooked, I won't lie, but at the same time, I'm not down to wait an entire 6 months and go to my comic store.
No, you don't have to wait 6 months. You just have to wait
next
month. Issue 2.
Well, okay. Well, I'm talking about like the whole blah blah blah.
But what if? So you're willing to wait for issue 2, right?
I mean, yeah, if you buy it.
Okay, and then issue 2. Okay, sure. And then issue 2 comes out, and you're like, something mind blowing happens in it, and then you're like, I need to find out what happens in issue 3. That's the beauty of it. It does teach you a little bit of patience, which is kind of crazy because which you don't have because your generation is used to like the binge format.
Gen Z.
I don't know. Are you Gen Z or Gen Alpha?
Gen Z. Look, I can search.
Well, can you Google that really quick first, Tommy Jeff? He's 15.
Gen Z age.
Gen Alpha is 2010.
Oh no. It's whatever.
Damn.
Why? I don't know.
I consider myself Gen Z still.
You just had like an identity crisis.
Oh, you're not. You're Gen Alpha, buddy.
You're Gen
15.
Alpha, man. That explains that. That explains that. Lack
He's
of
having a surreal
humor,
moment right here on the show, everybody. No, my life has been a lie. Yeah, Gen Z is like 20 years, 20 or between 20 and.
I swear it was 2012.
I guess Gen Z. Yeah, Gen Z. Well, that's AI telling me. Google Gemini states Gen Z is 1997 to 2012.
Let's go!
And Alpha is 2011 to 2020.
I made it. I made it.
Yeah, you're on the cusp.
I told y'all I made the cut. Y'all didn't believe it.
Why does it matter?
I don't know. Something about Gen Alpha just like, ugh.
Don't give into that. Give into that. Don't do the thing that all these prior other generations have done.
Have you ever thought twice about who someone is because of the generation they're in?
Yeah, but it's a natural. But I think we're like that's part of a societal issue of like we're somehow forced to criticize the generation right after us for some reason. Like boomers clearly did it with like millennials and Gen X and stuff, and millennials we oftentimes do it with Gen Z. But I think it's something that just needs to go away, and we need to break that because it's just a cycle. Like, why do we have to hate the next generation?
We need to all love each other.
I just also I don't think I've ever just sat there looking at someone and just being like, God, you're such a boomer. God, you're such a Gen Zer.
Oh, I have.
Like I have never once. I just look at the person like because I'm assuming the moments where I would think
boomers,
that I'm
I've been
just
like fucking boomer.
You're a fucking idiot.
No, I
like
Yeah.
that's what I think
Yeah.
more than like, oh, you're that generation. Like
That's
no,
true.
Like
Yeah.
I'm just like that's why like I'm just curious on who it is because I feel like Gen Z and boomers and like care so much more than like I don't know. I don't give a rat's.
I don't care. I definitely don't care.
Are you an idiot or not? And
Yeah,
I feel
fair.
like that's kind of how we view the generation.
Speaking of like the generation hate, like the generational hate, have y'all seen those like Gen X TikToks? You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like those.
No, because
It'll
we're
be some like it'll be some old
well,
Gen X dude.
so like I'm sorry, these Gen Zers
Because
with their
clearly
TikTok.
we
I
didn't.
don't have TikTok.
No.
Hey man,
We didn't see the
we're not
bicycle
with
video.
it. We're not.
It's
I used to know what it was.
They changed what it is.
Then they changed what it is. Now you're with it. We're not with it. But I will tell you, AP, I am happy because I feel like mission accomplished. Because you're hooked. You would read issue 2.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's the point. That's the point. Be Not Afraid. Available at your local comic shop from Boom Studios. Issue 1 dropped today. You can find this once more. Whatever comic shop. Was it comicshoplocator.com?
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, AP. The reason we do this, all comic shops, for the most part, they're all small businesses. Tangible media is a thing that's going away, right? We all want to buy things. We want to view things. We want to stream things. But comic shops are small businesses. They're usually owned by a single proprietor.
What about Golden Apple?
Golden Apple is a small business.
Oh.
Golden Apple is a small business. I know the owners. I know them directly. It's not a corporation. It's not a chain. It's not a huge thing, right? There is one Golden Apple.
Comic shops are cool because it's usually someone opens up a comic shop because of their passion.
Yeah.
Like it's
a
one of the
passion
really
project.
cool things. And you will almost always be able to walk into a comic shop and be able to speak firsthand with the owner.
The owner.
I do realize that though. Like
Yeah.
today, like whenever we went, like y'all were very comfortable and like cool and chill with each other and just like
It's like your local bar, man.
Homie,
You can make
yeah.
friends there.
Mhm.
I met your Aunt Brandy, my wife, there. I have 2 kids because of a comic shop.
that's crazy.
I live in this house because of a comic shop. I have this show because of a comic shop. I met my people, my friends at a point in my life.
You
I'm in
was
California right now 'cause
became
of
a
comic
walking
shop.
You're in
comic
California
shop.
right now because of a comic shop. Yeah. Like at some point I was going to give up and move back home. And because I felt like I didn't have anything. And like, what's California going to offer me? And I met my community and my friends and my people. I'm friends with Ty and friggin' Tommy Jeff. And we're here because of a comic shop in theory, right?
And Diddy.
And well, Diddy, I mean, through
That's
marriage, but
just
yeah,
marriage.
because of a comic shop. Comic shops, what's cool about that too is it also helps you find your community, your people, your fandom, your nerdom. That's what this show is all about.
Nerdum.
That's it. Anything else before we wrap it up, fellas? About this epiphany. I like how you raise your hand, AP. Yeah.
I was just showing y'all that I raised my hand just to show my manners. Just a last shout out, my Uncle Pablo that putting me on this podcast. And just
this
thanking
guy.
him for giving me this opportunity, and also thank you for the job too.
Yeah. Thanks for being on, AP. I don't want any creepers to find you online, so you gotta find Adrian here on the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. He's gonna help me with some food review videos probably too.
Oh,
review
that
the-
Gus's fried chicken.
Yeah.
That,
Some deviled
Ojai
eggs,
burger.
fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm down for
absolutely.
that.
Ty, where can we find you? Was there any last minute things? Okay, never mind. You go ahead, Al. Where can we find you? And I'll give my final thing.
Okay.
before it.
Well, I was just gonna say really quick. I don't know if we're going. I'm probably gonna go Sunday. You said you might probably go Sunday. This
NostalgiaCon.
weekend, NostalgiaCon at the Anaheim Convention Center.
Yeah.
Go support our friends. I know my friend Padawan Pins is going to be there. A lot of great artists and talent is going to be there as well. So if you are interested in comic books, you have an opportunity to meet some great artists and artists from your favorite childhood TV shows as well. So go check it out. My name's Ty. You can find me here on the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. You can also find me on Ty Photography, that both on Instagram, TikTok, and my website.
Yeah, Ty photographer. Ty was taking photos last week.
I was.
He was living the gimmick, brother.
I was living the gimmick. No, not my job.
It's a
Just-
wrestling term. All right, anyways,
Oh,
so yeah, all right. Tommy Jeff.
Y'all can find me here, Deeper Issues Nerdcast. And then occasionally I am on this thing called Instagram. And
The
the
Tommy
handle
Jeff.
is at the Tommy Jeff.
Damn.
Dang.
So yeah.
Damn.
Can I put my Xbox gamer tag?
Yeah, go for it.
Low Toasty 10.
Little Toasty 10. You want to play? What games are you playing? What games are you gonna
Rocket League, a little bit of Rainbow Six Siege. And that's it.
I
mean, FIFA 2, FC 25. So yeah.
Y'all want to get schooled in some FIFA 2 or some Rocket League, a little Toasty 10.
I don't know about all that. Hey, if you want to get schooled in Smash Bros, bring it on.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's not Xbox. That's your what's your Switch tag? What's your Switch handle?
PFP.
Yeah. My name is Paulo Ramirez. We do have some exciting stuff actually. So yeah, we will likely be at NostalgiaCon.
Next week.
This Saturday, the abdominal stretch is coming back. Nathan Haskell, the Low Meter legend, is going to be back in the building. We're going to be talking this week in pro wrestling. But speaking of Nathan Haskell and New Orleans original from Saks Kicks Avenue himself, Mr. Alfred Banks. You may have heard his song in the most recent Peloton commercial. Alfred Banks, awesome New Orleans original musician. We're going to probably do an Instagram live with him and Nathan at some point. We do have an up-and-coming show in Long Beach, California. Nathan Haskell, if you're a fan of good hip-hop, West Coast meets Dirty Coast. Nerd rapper Nathan Haskell, New Orleans original Alfred Banks in Long Beach, California. We will be giving away some comic books. I'm going to announce which comic books we're going to give on next week's show. I just started organizing. AP helped me organize. But we're going to have some really cool signed things. Some copies of Hyde Street signed by Jeff Johns. Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. Come out. We'll do just like a free raffle. And we'll just give stuff away for just being at the show if you're interested in winning a comic book. As well as, officially announced today, we're going to have some live painting from one Deeper Issues own, Allison Teagues, is going to be at that event doing some live paintings. It is Friday the 13th. We're going to be playing some Friday the 13th VHSs there. Good hip-hop, nerdy shit, live painting, art, support local artists. Come on down to Long Beach, California. Our first ever Deeper Issues Nerdcast event. We're going to be doing a lot more musical things. We also have the fine folks over at Pork Boy, just confirmed today. They're going to be making an original track for us here, so expect some new music here on the Deeper Issues Nerdcast from Pork Boy, hopefully by the end of the month. Yeah, a lot of things cooking here. Look at that. Stirring that pot. Come on down to Long Beach on Friday, June 13th. Adrian might be there wearing a fake mustache. We're working on it.
Oh, yeah.
We're working on it, but we're going to have some really cool stuff. It's going to be a fun event. It's going to be a good time. Cold drinks, great music, great people, good energy. Yeah. I am Pablo Ramirez. You can find me here at the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. Please give us a like, drop a comment, do that little bell icon thing, hit a follow, do a share. Thank you, everybody who was in our chat talking. John Tracy, Casey, Mike, Johnny, California, Uncle Marky, everybody who was in there participating. Yeah, that's about it for this week. Until next time, keep reading. And may all of your issues be covered.
Fantasies of God, fantasies